Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Buffalo Fireside Chats. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. I just wanted to do a quick Monday update to sort of set the tone for the week and talk a little bit about, some stocks that are picking up steam and catching more eyes with bigger accounts. So that's awesome. And, I just want to remind you guys that I'm going live Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you hop on and join the live chat. I'm going to be covering a bunch of stocks and, just sharing updates. A lot of which, I hate to seem redundant, but a lot of these ones I've been on for a while. And, you're probably thinking some of you have bought high. And in the last 12 months, we have faced a retracement. We have seen economic pullback. And if you look at a large portion of these stocks, they are, you could draw a line. They've faced the same retracement. And so my goal as an investor is to find the companies that are succeeding in this economic climate. All right, the companies that are expanding and building and networking and not diluting the high hell, and stocks that are companies that are adding revenue and assets. And, I could just make the quick list of the stocks that are sustaining themselves nicely. Or I don't want to say stocks, companies that are sustaining themselves nicely in this economic climate. And I think the share price long term is going to be rewarding once we hit the upswing. And that's just my personal opinion. None of this is financial advice, obviously. So I do want to talk, Triple DX, QIND, ILUS, and a couple others as well. So like I said, I am going live Wednesday. Join me, join the chat, and share your thoughts. This is an open platform for due diligence. So let's get right into this here. All right, first one I want to talk about is Triple DX. This one I've been on for a while. I have a bunch of shares here, and we're up 53.85% today. I think that is due in part because some bigger accounts have they've jumped on the wagon for this one. So, and rightfully so. Like, I know Chase McTrades is on this one. And, this is the thing. When you have a share structure like this, it's going to move very, very easily. I've had management on this show multiple times. And one thing that they do pride themselves on is the fact that they're not bloating this thing to high hell. They're sitting with a 2.6 million market cap. Look at the amount of restricted shares. Look at the outstanding share count, 101 million. With an authorized share count of 175 million. Very low float, 44 million for an OTC pink. This thing could fly high. Right now, they are working on getting some government contracts. They did have a new certification. I don't have the exact title of the certification. JSC certification. I think that's what it's called. I might be wrong. But let's take a look. Let's see if I'm correct or not. But they are looking to get new orders through the Navy. So if they land JCP certification, that's what it is. See, so there, Mr. Nick Coriano, don't be too mad at me. You think I would have that one down by now because I have covered this one a lot. And I'm excited for what these guys are going to do. Roger Jansen was on the show. Harold Blackwell, he's a head of acquisitions. Nick Coriano, vice president. It was great sitting down with those guys, and I'm going to put the link in the description to that interview. So if you guys want to check it out, please do so. First-hand due diligence, gotta love it. So I'm in this one long. I do have restricted shares of this, and so that's one thing too that I'm realizing as an OTC investor. One of the greatest things that I have found is the ability to invest restricted and invest privately and find people that are looking to do startups and helping them and get an investment group to help them launch these real legitimate companies along the way, and get them moving, because I want to see good people succeed. I want to see legitimate people succeed. There are a lot of pump and dumps. There's a lot of scams, as they say in the OTC. It's a scam, but that's the truth. But you gotta do your vetting. You gotta do your due diligence. And hey, we've all been burned on a play. So I really try, especially in this economic pullback. I try to find these plays, these investments that are real companies that are building, that are sustaining revenue, that are growing. Because when the economy does turn around and there's an influx of investing and funding, I should say, and when funding returns, these are the companies that are going to be succeeding and flying high. So, and that's my personal opinion. Like I said, none of this is financial advice. Let's talk a little bit about RMRK. Here's some somebody posted this on Twitter, a couple bullet points here. I do own 3 million shares of this. I will be honest, I own 3 million shares. So I'm excited for this one. I did talk to Jordan Starkman. I hope to have him on Wednesday for an interview. I love having my interviews, but we're trying to lock up some scheduling issues right now. But as of right now, we're just sort of going to see how things play out. If he can't make it this week, he is going to definitely be on in the future, like the near future. But right now, we're just trying to work out scheduling things. So let's look a little bit about RMRK, non-dilutive acquisition, reverse merger of Blue Nutric. Now, Blue Nutric, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about this in a second. Well, the name changed. It's going from Rimrock Gold Corp to Blue Nutric. But here it is. Professor Pierre Schenck added to the board of directors. Now, if you pay attention to this channel, I actually had Professor Schenck on, and we discussed microbiology or microalgae, and I'm telling you, I learned a lot, and he explained things as simple as he could. This guy, he's unbelievable. So please watch that interview and look him up. He was a professor at the University of Queensland, so he knows what he's talking about. But he's developed new disease-resistant plants and algae for food, feed, and biofuel with more than 180 published papers, and it's more than that now. And he was involved in 7 patents. So you have RMRK here, global omega market, 3.8 billion. Global biofertilizer market is 4.8 billion. The CEO has declared there's not going to be no further dilution to get this Blue Nutric acquisition, no reverse split, and there's no shell risk. They're still on time to enter, remaining steady before the run. And I'll tell you right now, like I said, I was bid sitting 8 today, and my order did fill. And I've just been sort of usually I don't run, buy the top of, well, I'm not saying usually, I've done it, but I bought in at 001 because, or sorry, 11. I'm sorry, I got in at 11 here, just because I like the D behind it. I was able to contact Pierre Schenck, get him to commit to an interview. I was able to talk to Jordan Starkman, and I know that they have great things on the horizon. So hopefully everything goes as planned. Management active and attentive. Looking forward to seeing the company play an important role in the global algae sector. And another topic that I never thought I'd talk about on this channel is algae. So whatever. QIND. I've been on ILUS and QIND since the beginning of time. No, I'm just kidding, but I have invested in these guys for more than two and a half years, give or take. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited for what these guys have going on. There was a little bit of fallout with the whole reverse split stuff, and when you see emotional selling like this, where are we at here? My gosh, I need to invest in a really good, help me out here. Yeah, a charting program. Grow up, E-Rock, and get a good charting program. But when you see an emotional stuff like this, if I had the liquidity, I was working on a couple other investments here, I would have bought that immediately. And, this is one thing that I've watched since it was WSFT, since they got it. One would think I would have gotten in this one, but I prefer, personally, to invest in ILUS directly, being the parent company. They plan on doing this with ERT, one of their wholly owned subsidiaries. All right, 100% owned. They plan on launching that to a big board as well. In regards to, subsidiaries and legs of the spider, as I always say, they have Hyperion, the defense sector. They have Replay Solutions, the renewable sector. They have Quality Industrial Corp, and they have ERT, the emergency response sector. So this is one that I'm excited about. I've been excited about ILUS for a very, very long time. I have a lot in this one. This is, like I said, this is my ultimate long-term play, and I'm just excited. Let's look at the most recent PR that they did have. Sorry, I'm battling a little sinus thing today, so don't mind me. dying a little bit over here. All right, so ILUS plans emergency response and industrial subsidiary spinouts and stock dividend for shareholders. All right, so ILUS owns 67.8% of its publicly listed industrial subsidiary, Quality Industrial Corp. The subsidiary is planning an offering of approximately $7 million with an NYSE American uplisting. Following QIND's NYSE American uplisting, ILUS intends to pay a special equity dividend in the form of QIND stock to ILUS shareholders of record. So we'll find out when that date is. It is planned for the special equity dividend to be paid from a portion of the QIND stock already owned by ILUS, causing no dilution within QIND itself. That is key right there. There can be no assurance to the timing or whether the company will be able to successfully complete the offering and NYSE American uplisting. That's just disclosure there. They have to do that. They have to say that. ILUS currently owns 100% of the 100 million authorized shares of Emergency Response Technologies, a Delaware-registered private company. The company plans to spin out several of its existing aligned companies into ERT and intends to complete further acquisitions by ERT. ILUS plans to pay a special equity dividend in the form of ERT stock to ILUS shareholders of record. ERT intends to complete its targeted acquisitions, followed by a public offering and listing on a national stock exchange. There can be no assurance to the timing or whether the company will be able to successfully complete the public offering and listing on a national stock exchange. That's just disclosure there. They want to make sure that they cover, the risk there. But I think that they're going to be successful. And I think that, they haven't mentioned lockup yet. They really haven't. So I think the lockup is I think they're going to have a lot of these elements of getting these shares if you lock up your shares. I don't want to speculate, but I'm going to speculate a little bit. So if I want to lock up, I don't know, 200,000 shares, maybe it's on a percentage base, what I would get. Maybe there's an increase of the amount of stock of ERT or QIND I get if I choose to lock up my shares for a year. So there's going to be an opportunity and like I said, this is a long-term play. Anybody that's followed ILUS, anybody that has followed this management team, they're not looking to build a 1 to 2 year company, sell it off, and move on. They are looking to build a company to sustain itself for decades, to be a household name. And we've witnessed the foundation that they've been laying. And as JP put it, the foundation that is built on stone and not sand. So I'm very excited about this. Everybody should be excited about this, especially if you're a holder. You know what? Yeah, there's people out there that are like, doom and gloom all the time, and they're always looking at the negative aspect of this. What I look at is the actual due diligence, and it has checked out. There have been recent grumblings about the name change or whatever. That is so minuscule to what these guys are accomplishing. I'm not worried about it as a shareholder. I mean, we're talking about, when you look at the financials, $250 million in assets. These guys aren't screwing around. When they say they were setting out to be a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate in 5 to 10 years, this is the work that's going into it to make that happen. And the fact that I own shares in this, and that I'm holding this long term, I feel comfortable. I feel really comfortable about this. So, yeah. All right, let's go on to IVDA. Now, I do not own any shares of this. Look at that. Nice retracement here. We've seen it. But guess what? I'm going to have the CEO on this channel, David Lee, IVDA. I'm looking forward to sitting down with him this weekend. I'm going to be releasing that interview live next Wednesday, so please make sure you join me live again next Wednesday to check out this interview with David Lee. I look forward to talking artificial intelligence with him and a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, this guy is a smart cat, and I can't wait to, like I said, sit down with him. This one was actually brought to me by Rob, producer Rob as I call him, USMC out there at the ILUS Discord. But Rob, you're a good dude, and I want to say thank you for all the help that you've done with the BFC so far. And you need to make your debut on this channel. I hope to have you on in the flesh, so people could put a face to all the hard work that you've been helping me out with. So that's my little Monday morning rambling. I hope you guys have a great day. There are so many stocks out there that have potential, so many companies that have potential, as I should say, And yeah, I will be covering CYBL eventually, because I think that thing's gonna rock out of the gate the minute it goes pink current. They just did that 20 million restricted share issuance. I don't know anybody that would be urging to get shares of a company that is on caveat if it wasn't going to be tradable. So I think that great things are on the horizon there. CGRA is waiting for news. And, like I said, and IFIS. IFIS is, I called that one at 145 I bought in. Actually, I wanted 121, I think it was. But I got in, and it's still up 100%. There is a lot going on with that company. They can revolutionize the cattle industry with that feed that they have going on. But listen, I rambled on long enough. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you haven't joined this channel yet, I would really, really appreciate it if you give this a like, share, and a subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. I have management teams on all the time, CEOs, managing directors, and this is all about due diligence. And hey, I'm a work in progress, but I appreciate every single one of you that has joined this journey. Listen, You guys have a great day, and remember, there's more that binds us than breaks us. Peace out.